anyone can host.
Comedy Central's Cheap Labor Day celebration, where average Joes host above average stand-up. All day Labor Day here at Comedy Central.
This program is brought to you by Hyundai.
What, you could see the guilt?
Yeah, but poor...
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the next performer is actually one of the easiest chores I've ever had. Well, simply because this card I'm holding is the announcement that the performer once read exactly as written. That makes it easy. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the world's greatest everything. The best dressed, the swingin'est performer, and one of the nicest guys in the whole world. Here he is, the 1963 Senior Prom's answer to Don Juan, Jerry Lewis!
I placed myself in the first position. I don't think that one can ever expound on feelings of self-worth that aren't there. I don't have to answer to no man. I don't have to answer to God.
Jerry Lewis, a man, and his Verheugen.
Welcome to the first of a series of specials produced by the Entertainment Archives. And what would be more fitting than to start this series with a tribute to one of my favorite entertainers, Jerry Lewis. We're going to cover many aspects of this complex man. The comedian, the singer, the drug pusher, his critics, his friends, his loves, his idol himself, his telethon, his movies, and a very rare clip from The Day the Clown Cried. But first, let's start at the beginning with Martin and Lewis.
Let's take this moment that tonight is granting.
And the monkey and the handsome one are saying the following words. Did you take a bath this morning? Why, is there one missing? And what the secret of all of that success was the ability of two men to show love and affection one for another in front of an audience. That's all it was. Because I'm embarrassed to say to you that we were getting $250,000 a week at the New York Paramount for one guy saying, "Did you take a bath this morning?" And the other guy said, "No, why? Is there one missing?" His timing was innate. It was inborn. It was part of his breathing process. He was magic, and that's why Jerry this, Jerry that, Jerry this, Jerry that was devastating, because he knew in his heart that he was the key to making the idiot work. I was responsible for the break. I motivated it, provoked it, and knew it was right. Did you take a bath this morning? Why? Is there one missing? I mean, it's not only ludicrous, it borders on implausible, impossible. Did you take a bath this morning? Why, is there one missing? They paid them what?
Get right down to the general questioning, which we will begin with Miss Arlene Frenzel.
Well, from the noise that went up, I think it must be the MGM Lion. Why do you start with a scream like that? Is it possible that anybody in pictures would create such a roar? Are you in pictures?
I couldn't hear anything.
It is the lion.
That was a yes, Miss
That's a yes?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been in television? Are you male?
They got the masks on. Well, they can't see it, 13. And they got the masks on, and they're all covered up. They'll never get to where we are now.
I loved him enough to see the pain. And it was killing me that these dumb audiences weren't seeing that the magic of the kid was him. The kid could never function without him. And that's not false modesty. I know how funny I was. I was entertaining him. I was looking for his acceptance. He was my big brother, the handsome father figure, and the ladies' man. When little did the public know that I was with the broads all the time, and he was sitting sipping scotch and soda with two friends from Steubenville.
This is Dean Martin. And Jerry Lewis, asking you to see our newest and funniest picture to date. Of course, you mean The Caddy. You bet I do. The Caddy is filled with 90 hilarious minutes of howls, gags, fun, and heartwarming entertainment that the entire family will enjoy. Crazy, man, crazy. No doubt about it, Dean. This is the funniest picture we've ever made. No kidding, folks. We're sensational. Take my word for it. Come on and join the fun. See Paramount's The Caddy. It'll make you shit.
It was a wonderful moment. I had tremendous feelings of joy. I once said to somebody, I don't know that I would have had the guts to come on to Dean's turf if he was doing a show. If the tables were turned, I don't know that I could have done that. So I thought it took great strength on his part. And I haven't seen him since. It hurts me because I thought that revisiting, so to speak, that Frank instigated, would open the door to a better relationship again.
Why we broke up, I'll never know.
Me either.
I have no idea what happened.
I mean, I love you. I love you, Dean.
Do you hear from him at all?
No.
He tried other partners, but none matched the stardom of Martin and Lewis. Before being married, he's had many other love affairs.
Patty's a great lady. She helped me grow up. She produced 6 sons. I want to thank my wife, Sam, my 5 sons.
All right, thanks, Pop. You're looking good. Who wants to buy this diamond ring?
With all the children I have, I cannot honestly say that I love them any more than I love Angel.
All right, thanks, Pop.
I loved every minute of that. That's a wrap. Let's go to the park and see if we can molest a lady.
I don't like interchanges. I don't like my wife dancing with another man.
But I really was involved with what society told me I do. You get married, you have a child, and you have a house. At the age of around 50 or 51, I decided that I think I'm really doing myself a disservice.
I have a new wife. I have a new life. I feel marvelous. I'm handsome. I'm tall. I'm Jewish.
I thought about you last night before I went to sleep. It wasn't romantic, Jerry. Don't get your ears to wiggling. It was business.
It won't be my ears wiggling, sweetheart.
You were part of the family, and that's the unfortunate part, because with incest and all the things that are going on today, I want you to meet my Sam, my lady that makes me come up here and do it all. Stand up. I would like to have your baby.
I don't have to kiss you, do I? Maybe I will kiss you.
Did you want to sleep together?
No.
Before we go any further, one of the clips you just saw came from an ACE Award ceremony where Mr. Lewis was given a special award as a surprise. You decide if he really was surprised, because here's a clip of him entering the ceremony that night. You decide.
It's a big tribute to a comedian tonight. It's supposed to be a big secret.
What's that?
A big tribute to a comedian here tonight that we heard. You heard anything about that?
We don't know who the comedian is.
We don't know who it is?
I don't know. I'm just the presenter.
Here's something that I've been waiting to share with you. The voice of my favorite singer, Jerry Lewis.
I'm sitting on top of the world, just rolling along, just rolling along.
All of my kids will... Wait, please, I can't hear the tempo. Let me try that again. All my kids, you, keynote, can I get a keynote? Can I get just a keynote? La, whether they are far or near, here, year after year, here, where they perform. And so I'd like the whole wide world to know. Could I get a keynote, please? There's no people like show people, like no people I know. Anytime I've asked them to appear here, anytime I've asked them to perform, into the ground. I said into the ground. Into the
at dawn and sleepy and yawning, still the taste of wine. Then I remember you're mine, and I've got a world that's fine. What's before me? Routines that bore me, punch the clock at 8. But what a lucky guy I am, I've got a world that's great. Atom bombs, Cape Canaveral and false alarms. Half the universe is up in arms. So I flip a little too until I'm holding you. Watch the hassle, I'll buy the castle. We can live like kings if we're together forever. I've got a world that you've got a world that
We've got a world that swings. I'd like to take you through this wild, wonderful venture. Fly like a kite through space, no strings. I don't want to lose that bell that rings. I've got a world that you've got a world that we've got a world that swings. We've got a world that swings.
How much better can it get? Here's a duet with my favorite singers, Jerry Lewis and Mel Torme.
Another bride,
No one to walk with,
another June,
all by myself.
another sunny,
No one to talk with, but I'm happy on the
another
show.
season,
Ain't misbehaving,
another reason
saving my love
for
for
making
you and me.
You gotta
The days
give
are
a
the
little,
happiest, the
take
are
a
the
little,
happiest, kids
and
are
make
the
your poor
happiest,
heart break
are the
a little.
happiest.
That's the story of, that's the glory of love.
Way back when.
I'm so hot bothered, I don't know my head's going from my ear. I worry something awful each time you go, but what's more when you're near? You know me to the window,
Why must you
by
be
the
mean
window,
to me?
that's where I'll be.
Forget
Come
all
on,
again.
so to the window
What you mean
with
to
me.
Love just around the corner.
Creepers, where did
Petticoats
get
in
those
the corner.
creepers?
Love is just around the corner.
Where did
When
they get
I'm around
those eyes? It's very daring, the continental, a kind of rhythm, strictly ultra new. It's very special, the continental, because it's what you want it to.
Jerry. So
Da 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 da. Play it and hold back your name. You sinners,
I'm racking my brain to think of a name
let that
to give to this
harmony
tune so very can
up to heaven
Maybe old
and
Bing
sing.
will give it a fling.
Sing, you
That'll start everyone calling to sing. Lullaby a bird laugh, that's what only
You won't believe it
when you sigh.
I'd rather be lonely than happy with somebody new. There's my favorite melody. You, my baby, phone into me. I hear music, mighty fine music, and every time I think my world is wrong, I get me out of bed and sing this song. I sing this song.
In one of Mr. Lewis's films, he finally got to work with one of the legends of the show business industry.
There are a couple of specific points that I did neglect to mention. Specifically, the day that I went to Botanic.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
Yes, the late great Fasadidi. While we're on the subject of Mr. Lewis's films, why don't we watch and hear from some of his followers?
I see Jerry Lewis as a great filmmaker. He's bold, he's inventive, he dares, he understands the rules of film, and he's not afraid of them. He can break them, he can throw them out the window. He's a purely original American artist.
We all know of Mr. Lewis's Legion of Honor Award, but many of us don't realize that it's easier to receive than you think.
Légion d'honneur, the Legion of Honor, which is equivalent to our Congressional Medal of Honor.
I noticed you wearing. Well, that's just a little honor, but
It's got a thicker ribbon, I'll tell you that.
they make them thicker when you get 3.
Here's Jerry Lewis with Tom Snyder discussing the problem of making a Jerry Lewis movie in the 70s.
And it happened with a film I made for Warner's, Which Way to the Front, a film I really was in love with. Put 2 years of a lot of blood, a lot of sweat. It was a labor of love. And then it was distributed, and it was in and out kind of quick. It was distributed by Warner Brothers, and in defense of their conduct, they had another film called Woodstock, and that was getting the big push. Well, that didn't bother me so much as driving in the valley one night to see my son. I see the marquee, Which Way to the Front, Jerry Lewis's new film, and it was double billed with Deep Throat. Big Zanuck comes to see me. He wants me to direct and star Portnoy's Complaint. I said, Dick, that's not my style. I don't think I know how to make that kind of a film. And then I got a script where they wanted me to play a homosexual victim of, he created matricides somewhere in his life. And I said, hey, let me get back to Vegas. I'll play concerts. I'll go back to the Palladium in London. I'll do my thing and so on.
You're upset about having your picture marqueed with Deep Throat, but you're not upset going after a naked ankle in a disco joint. For me, explain the...
Oh, come on, Tom. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, that's bare skin, you know.
It's a lady's legs.
Yeah?
And he's a fella that really thinks that's neat.
And what about his nose fetish?
Jerry Lewis and Hardly Western.
Hey, on. Just being... wanted to ask you about was...
Some had the privilege of attending the grand opening of a new hotel on the boardwalk of Atlantic City.
The important thing here, ladies and gentlemen, is for you to know that we are here to rename this wonderful edifice that is slowly sinking into the goddamn ocean. Frankie Randall, yes, look, you are responsible for getting us here tonight. Please. Sitting next to Tony Bennett, starring here at the Grand Hotel, Sonny King. Ladies and gentlemen, Sonny, stand up and let everybody turn and say, who the Christ is that?
If I didn't care more than words can say, if I didn't care, would I feel this way? If this isn't love, then why do I thrill? And what makes my head go round and round while my heart stands still? If I didn't care, would it be the same? Would my every prayer begin and end with just your name? And would I be sure that this is love beyond compare? Could all this be true if I didn't care for you?
If I didn't care. More than words can say. If I didn't care, why don't you cut your nails? If this isn't love, then why do I thrill? And what makes my head go round and round while my heart stands still, while my...
If I didn't care, would it be the same? Would my every prayer begin and end with just your name? And would I be sure that this is love beyond compare?
Hold it. I could have done that by myself. I'd need no assistance from you. Now we should do this in the respect that there's no response, right into the Star-Spangled Banner. Ready? Could always be true if I didn't care for you. Thank you.
Whenever I'm in Las Vegas, I bolt to the Sahara to see Jerry's nightclub act.
It's very, very difficult to recognize perfection. When you see the likes of Jack Nicklaus with a one iron, effortlessly knocks it there to the pin all the time. Darryl Strawberry, equally as effortlessly, knocks them out of the park time and time again. Wayne Gretzky takes his puck and pucks it wherever he wants to puck. This is a very hard goddamn trick I'm doing here. I have to spin the cane, slide it through the arm, not letting it touch the stage. I can't let it hit the floor from there. I can't see the sucker at all back there. I have to catch it, flip it, knock it, and the son of a bitch won't come up! Okay, here we go. Enough of this nonsense. My mind is made up. I got plenty of canes. I ran out of jokes. Okay, here we go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. You're very wise. You know, I had the good fortune of being part of an audience some years ago at the Kennedy Center, watching Mr. Dunninger astonish that audience, myself included. Mr. Dunninger, who is without question the taskmaster of the art of legerdemain, the greatest magician that ever lived, the optimum, the ultimate, considered by his peers the finest magician that ever lived in the history of the world. Don't you agree?
I didn't like him at all.
He didn't like him. Some people... Most people that have seen Dunninger agree with me, he is the top. I asked him about the trick that astonished that audience. He was kind enough to not only teach it to me, but gave me permission to do it in my show. And I'd love to do it for you because people love magic as much as I do. I would need the assist of a gentleman in the audience to do nothing more and to allow me to use his handkerchief for this trick. The reason we don't set one up in advance is because the trick is very unique. Audiences are a little reluctant to believe in its validity. So if there is a gentleman that I do not know that would assist me with I prefer a breast pocket handkerchief because one night I took one from a guy here. It had all the diseases of Cambodia. Oh, well, you're very kind, sir. Thank you. May I ask your name so I can refer to you, please?
Bob Hadley.
May I call you Bob? Thank you. You call me Mr. Lewis. I don't know the nice gentleman, but I do appreciate his help. I'd like you, ladies and gentlemen, to watch very closely and notice that at no time during the course of this trick will I make contact with anyone else on the stage. Lewis. Watch it, Bob. You're going to love it.
Is he smiling or is he laughing? Is he coming up or is he just sitting? Is he walking or is he standing? Bob, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but you were really swell about it. I appreciate that. Could I borrow a gold watch for this next,
Here's another song from the Nutty Professor.
Hold it a second. Hold it. We'll make our own music, gorgeous. Just hold it. You and you stay. Tubby, you go rest your thumbs. I'll drive. Sweetie, go get your lips pressed. Split.
Well, you listen.
You listen. Sit down here. And if you listen, you'll be thrilled. Believe you me. Sit and listen and watch. Mood is wrong. Mood is wrong. Innkeeper. Got sexy lights? Lay it on me. Better. Now watch, baby. Every move a picture. That old black magic has me in its spell. That old black magic that you weave so well. Those icy fingers up and down my spine. The same old witchcraft when your eyes meet mine. The same old tingle that I feel inside. And then that elevator starts its ride. And down I go, round, I go like a leaf that's caught in the tide. I should stay away, but what can I hear your name, and I'm a flame of such a burning desire that only your kiss can put out the fire. You're the lover I have waited for. You're the maid that fate has me created. Ba-ba-doo-boo-wee. And every time your lips meet mine, baby, down and down and down I go. Round and round and round I go. In a spin, loving the spin that I am in. Under that old black magic called, old black magic called, old black magic called love, love, love.
Being in show business for so many years, Mr. Lewis has developed a vast array of gags, which are rarely duplicated.
I'm very pleased.
Be my lunch. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Be my love, for no one else can end this yearning.
I'm just learning how to smoke, and I like it. I know.
I got it. That's great. And he had a whole gag in mind that went into the movie.
This recent performance at the Olympia in Paris is what's known in showbiz as a dumb act or a record pantomime.
It's my pleasure.
Is this on? Is this on? Yeah. Not me. Deck the halls with Folly Granger. What? What we did about, we'll do the announcers tests only because we want to see if you can remember it, okay? The announcers test.
One hen, 2 ducks. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 Limerick oysters. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 Limerick oysters, 5 corpulent porpoises, 6 pairs of Donald Verzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt, 9 apathetic, sympathetic, diabetic old men on roller skates with a marked propensity towards procrastination and sloth, 10 lyrical, spherical, diabolical denizens of the deep who haul stall around the corner of the quo with the quay of the quivy all at the same time.
I want the whole audience to see my pride and joy. Right there. Hit it. Oh!
You didn't mug Rip Taylor on the way in here, did you? You're very entertaining.
All the brass up and down, now saxes up and down. Once up and now sit. Rhythm up and down once. I know it looks silly, but it does give them a chance to adjust their shorts.
You understand, well, it struck me as being an interesting statement.
Not interesting in so much as possibly introspective. And then all of a sudden you respond seriously. What the hell is the matter with you? Now bring it down here. You louse? But he had a wonderful way. What we did about, Yosemite! If you don't like it, get Walter Pigeon.
No.
And what makes my Labor Day weekend oh so special? What do I look forward to at the end of a long, hot summer? How do I spend that special weekend? Of course, watching the Jerry Lewis Labor Day Telethon.
Live from Las Vegas, it's the 1986 Jerry Lewis Labor Day Telethon. Tonight, from Hollywood, California, it's the 25th anniversary celebration of Jerry Lewis's Muscular Dystrophy Telethon. In the next 22 hours, 100 stars will shine brightly to help Jerry and Jerry's kids celebrate their silver anniversary.
This portion of our show shows us just how many stars have stayed up with Jerry. Throughout the years, some of the biggest names in show business, the top of the entertainment industry, have graced his stage.
Let me be there in your morning, let me be there in your night. Let me change whatever's wrong and make it right. Dream, 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 when I want you in my arms.
The Jerry Lewis Telethon is on, and we would like to thank the stars who come from near and far by bus or boat or trolley car, by subway, train, or aeroplane, so they can entertain you.
Mr. Lou Brown, ladies and gentlemen. I dress up when I'm going to be with you, Frank. That's what I want you to know.
A week in Paris, Willie, pride of me, give lots or small. Let's help this town put empty down. He'll do it his
Well, Jerry, I say one thing. Holy Moses! Holy Moses!
Why don't you just pick up the phone and make a pledge?
There's my cue, Jerry. I'll see you.
Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh.
You don't scare me. What you say?
None of us are perfect. None of us.
John?
Oh, hold on a moment.
How do you keep the music playing?
Why do I love you? Why do you love me? Why share me so happily? Maybe that's because you love me. Maybe that's what I love you.
That's what we're all here for. Very touching stuff. Yeah, we're on.
You introduce me?
Yes.
I'll tell the jokes.
Oh. Whose?
I was...
This would be a good time if you'd introduce Donald dancing and telling everybody about the resurgence of tap and all of the tapping that's going to be doing tapping here. All this tapping that we planned for months of tapping.
Yes. Jerry?
Hello?
Can you hear me, Jerry?
Oh, yeah. Is Donald going to dance?
Donald just finished dancing here, Jer.
Was that? I thought that was the gray-haired guy that sang before.
I wasn't showing off my tuxedo. It doesn't fit.
Okay, it's us, Sammy. It's us. We introduce Danny Herman from Chorus Line in New York. So you and Donald can cool it for a while, okay? Dulé Hill. Is there a tape?
I think we have a problem, Jerry.
Dulé, tell me what you had.
They said they had people out there said they had the music and they were gonna play it.
You know what the music is?
It's something from the show.
Something from the show. What if we did something that wasn't from the show? And just let's see what happens. What do you think? Take it right here. Try.
Just try dancing?
Yeah.
from New York. Here are the stars that I ain't gonna tell you about. Is our orchestra ready? Because I know we're moving fast, coast to coast, but isn't it exciting? Don't just look down, help me. Either one. Ladies and gentlemen, could you tell me how come it didn't take that quick to get it all on, but I never saw a strike so fast in my damn life like you guys just struck all of that.
Ehi compare, ci posso suonare, chi si suona un scaletto.
Thousands of volunteers and hundreds of celebrities are showing their support for Jerry's telephone by answering phones at pledge centers like this one. Show your support. Make that call and pledge now.
We're gonna be right back, right after a billboard or two while they're playing the beautiful music and we slowly sink into the Pacific.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from Glen to Glen. Glen. And down the mountain the summer's gone and autumn leaves are falling. Did you must go too, and I must bide. But come me back when summer's off the meadow, or when the valleys hush and white with snow. Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, love you so. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so.
The Osmond Boys.
How often do we have a champion like Jerry Lewis?
Billy Barty, ladies and gentlemen, right here.
Thank you. Hi, Jerry. Look, you're wonderful. What do you want me to do? Thank you, Jerry. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I love the telethon. It's unbelievable. I watch it every year. It's honest.
lot of people that like you.
You know, brother, there's more electricity in here than Madison Square Garden, man.
Oh, Jesus.
Or maybe it's wounded.
Love, exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you and love. Life's sweetest reward. Let it flow. It floats back to you. The Love Boat soon will be making another run. Promises something for everyone. It's sad, of course, for adventure. Your mind on a new romance. I'm singing this song whether you want to hear it or not. And love. The last time, it won't hurt anymore. It's an open smile on a friendly shore. It's love. Welcome on board is the Love Boat. And it soon will be making another run. The Love Boat promises something for everyone. Sail across for adventure, your mind on a new romance. And love, it won't hurt anymore. It's an open smile on a reality show. It's a love, it's the Love Boat.
Please welcome Oingo Boingo.
Has Tony Orlando been wearing a toupee all these years?
Don't call. You did your job now.
Can you see them coming? Can you see them coming? Today, sweet, sweet America. Today, my America.
What to do? Go on, so I can get dressed.
The audience would probably like it better if you didn't.
If I didn't do my number?
If you didn't get dressed.
Jerry, listen, I love you and I love what you're doing.
True love, on me you make a better man. Yeah, yeah.
Think back on all the tales that you remember of Camelot. And away we go.
The Candyman makes everything he bakes satisfying and delicious. Talk about your childhood with his, you can even eat the dishes. So you and I, we watch our years go by.
Every day I wake up, I say, wrinkles, wrinkles, go away. Give them all to Doris Day.
Well,
all of us. Here's D.
Please, don't let this feeling end. It's everything I am, everything I want to
to be. I can see what's mine now, finding out what's true, since I found you, looking through the eyes of love.
Hello, Dolly.
Hi.
Hello, Dolly.
Hi, Georgia. Oh, hey. That's pretty good, man. I hadn't thought of that.
No, there will be no practicing on my time here. What are you, crazy?
Oh, not the new clubs, Jerry! Not the new clubs!
Wait a minute, no, I'll get it.
Push niet kleine honden, papa.
Van andere biedt dat aan de rechter van de streetgeneraal.
Stroom, dat kastijn, in Litten.
Don't double talk me.
$113,000.
Oh, yeah.
Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by.
If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow
You'll see the sun come shining through for you.
light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness.
Although a tear may be ever so near,
That's the time you must keep on trying.
smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. That's the time you must keep on crying.
Smile, what's the use of crying?
You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
I didn't realize how I read my contract. This is part of my new NBC deal.
It's my twin brother.
For the gentleman who will donate $100,000. Really, to this great cause, I'll marry his wife on this stage tonight.
This telethon should really be in his honor to put him away in a state hospital where he can't hurt anybody.
Impregnated her very sustenance with his own credibility.
All right. Look at these suckers.
There are three things I can never remember.
So every morning, Teresa Lamorgia had to brush her hair 100 times. Every morning, 100 times. Then she'd do the other leg.
I am very happy to be the winner of the Jerry Lewis Lookalike Contest.
Hank, my friend, please. You introduce me? Yes. I'll tell the jokes. Oh. Whose? I was...
think we're going to need you, Jerry.
And if these broads weren't so damn good, you'd be home watching my show.
It's likely I'll spend my days
Here's Jerry once again singing a telephone favorite.
This song is dedicated to a friend of all of us, Mr. Bob Sampson. And it is done with love. And if the words don't make sense, he understands. You know we can't smile without you. We can't smile without you. We can't laugh. We can't sing unless we hear those telephones ring. Feel sad and then you call. Feel glad when you call. If you only knew what we're going through, we just can't smile without you. I once had a plan, then I began to follow it through. Isn't it great that now you're part of a team, part of a dream, soon to come true? So you see, we can't smile without you. We can't smile without you. We can't laugh, can't sing, unless we hear those telephones ring. Feel sad, and then you call. We feel glad when you call. If you only knew what we're going through, we just can't smile. Those songs may be sung, stars may appear, don't lose the meaning. One thing we know, this is a show called Love, Love. We can't smile without you. We can't smile without you. We can't laugh, can't sing, unless we hear the telephone ring. Feel sad and then you call. Feel glad, then you call. It's perfectly clear to make it this year. We just can't do without you. Without you. Without you. For you, my darling.
Here's an assortment of things that you could see on any given telephone.
So these two Jews fell off a camel. This young lady is wanted in 4 states for a variety of things, starting with giving you wrong information. Didn't you tell me?
No!
What did you tell
I
me?
said, go to the screen, intro Casey. What did you do? You introed Lisa.
Well, that shows you how stupid I am. You bet. I wouldn't start up with that animal, I'll tell you. I'd like to see her on a platter with a banana in her mouth. An apple. No. Poor joke. Bad joke. All of you folks up here, I want you to know that we appreciate... I've heard about sitting in the back of the bus, but that's ridiculous. I fly your airline every chance I get. And anyone that eats that food would eat their young. You know I'm serious.
From the Imperial Ballroom of New York's Americana Hotel, it's the Jerry Lewis Labor Day Telethon.
For so long that I stood there and wouldn't. I was so mad that it didn't when I wanted, that I didn't when I could have.
Our next star is the most popular performer in all of South America, with a TV show that is seen by millions of people every day, Jerry.
Jerry? Oh.
Jerry, yes, that's you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yes.
Jerry, you're the one on the right.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
He's the one not wearing the skirt.
I just nod off every now and again. Oh, I have had so much to drink since we started. My milkshakes, the egg creams, the Coca-Cola with a little caffeine to keep me up, the club soda, the milk, the coffee. So I'm in the dressing room, and I begin to feel it's necessary to possibly relieve this pressure I'm feeling.
Here's Jerry Lewis for his kids. And the dream was that someday every child will be able to walk and laugh and run and enjoy life as every child should.
And could you arrange to let me keep the change for my kids? My very dear old friend.
Let's hear it, Tim.
Let's hear it, Tim.
Let's drop her down.
Could this,
Not yet.
Not yet.
We don't have any lights at all.
Yes. We lost power. I emceed what was called the Short Academy Awards.
James Wong Howe
Was a producer who I can say anything about now because he's passed on. He was running the show. I went to him in the afternoon and I said, Mr. So-and-so, would it be wise if I rehearsed a couple of things so that if something goes wrong tonight, maybe I'd have the orchestra ready and so on, and I could do that and fill the time, as I usually do. He said, you just worry about what we give you. We're fine for tonight. The Academy Awards ran 41 minutes short. And I had 150 of the biggest stars in the world on the stage. Clark Gable, Spencer Tracy, Lana Turner, Joan Crawford, Susan Hayward, Brian Donlevy, Robert Taylor, and I can go on and on and on. Gregory Peck is the first time we met that night. How he does anything for me now, I'll never know. But there's the 150 of them on the stage, and I tell them we have some time to kill. I had them all dancing with one another. I had the orchestra playing music. I had Gregory Peck dancing with Robert Taylor. I had this one dancing with that one. And, of course, the press picked it up and did a wonderful job of massacring me. Jerry Lewis was MC at the Shortest Academy Awards. Well, it couldn't be helped. And I had to stretch for 41 minutes. So I asked Spencer Tracy how his family was. Does he have a dog? I did everything known to man until I ran out of breath, and there was still like 9 minutes left. And I started staring at the camera. And I said, if this is the way it's going to be without Dean, I'm going back with him. Timpani! Is my fly open? No. Oh, when we have a VTR, a videotape recording. I was talking to Donna Ron. Would you excuse me for a second? Right? No, that's okay. See, when you have a VTR on the screen, the people in the theater, their attention should be just on the screen. You see, Donna? So, if we have lights overhead, and it's lighting up Bob Considine's shirt that he got from a Mexican that was in heat in 1927, then the audience is going to look at his shirt and all these guys. See this guy? From the Mafia. Very as a platform to in any way enhance my own self-esteem. I feel pretty good about what I am and what I do, and what I do, and for whatever those reasons I do it, is vital. It's vital because I believe it must be done. But when the press attacks this platform, then I believe I am morally bound as a man to meet that challenge, because it's a cheap shot to sit at a typewriter, feel frustrated, know you're grossly underpaid because you are probably paid no more than you are worth. Therefore, you have to take that out on someone. So you take those human condition frustrations out on whoever might be the target. It was John Kennedy until he was killed. It was Martin Luther until he was killed. It was Bobby Kennedy until he was killed. The lovely part about the press is that they have the dignity to back off when a man is buried. If they thought they'd sell papers, they'd get on him after he was buried. Well, I'm not going to wait for that. They've attacked this platform. They have said some wonderful things. I have been advised by those who care about this platform that I should ignore it and don't dignify them. I'm not going to dignify them because it would be very, very stupid on my part to mention their names. I will say they are mostly incompetent, unfortunately, and are devastatingly frustrated at the fun we have here, the joy we get out of possibly seeing the children don't die anymore. Here's one. It's not easy either because although I am defending a vital, important part of this country, I do not take it personally because they're not attacking Jerry Lewis, the performer. They get their chance to do that when I make a film or I appear in Vegas or I'm in concert. They can take their shots. But what they do when they attack this platform is that they get to a lady in North Dakota who believes what she reads, and she may have been ready to send us $10 and believes what that moron has written and decides maybe not to send that $10. Well, by God, how many of those $10 are out there that should be here that might have helped us even get to that announcement we made sooner? Here's a beauty for you. Another year, another telethon, and still no cure for Jerry Lewis. Here's a better one. It's the abrasive, annoying, caustic show-off, pleading, pestering, insulting, humiliating his way through the fundraising event. The telethon is such an enormous concentrated dose of phony show business sentimentality and trumped-up pathos. It's the chance for big business to sell more hamburgers. Do they care about children? Jerry Lewis, egotistical, arrogant, demanding show-off. I got his attention, though, didn't I? He knows I'm around, don't he? He knows who he is. Well, when he attacks this platform and the lady doesn't send the 10, then the Vinces of the world have to go back to the letter carriers and say, who are you joining hands with? Because they're reading this tripe. There's a lot more. And I'm going to get to it later. And I'm going to get to some more later. And that at some point in this program, I'm going to answer them. Now, I am a wise enough showman to know that if I say to the viewing audience of 100-some million people, I'm going to answer them, they're going to hang in there and watch.
Let me sing a funny song with crazy words that roll along. And if my song can't start you laughing, I'm happy. I'm happy.
I always thought Labor Day was for pregnant ladies.
Wait a second. Get over by where he wanted me. Where's the card? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
You mean I have to work?
Here, just move. Why are you jumping around? Can't you have a pedestal like he?
If you could call the studio and tell my lighting director that the damn lights are a pain in the tuchus.
And I can't continue to wait till I get up here and watch. Oh yeah, I got it.
Feel glad when you call. If you only knew what we're going through, we just can't smile.
It's these summer colds. I don't know how it happens. I could say to the audience, I'm going to do it in 2 hours, but then they'll go and do other stuff and come back in 2 hours. I can tell them I'm going to do it in 8 hours. They'll do the same. I'm going to tell the audience the following. I may do it in the next 15 minutes. I may do it in the next 8 hours. I promise I'm going to do it. And if I am a showman, I will probably do it very, very much later. But once it's done, I am prepared to take some more heat. But it's a strange thing. The more they attack, I feel the skin get thicker. I get angrier. I think of the Bob Sampsons of this world, the Christy Bartletts. I think of the Ed McMahons that bust their back, not only the letter carriers, but every corporate individual who has aligned himself, his feelings, his sensitivity, his love, his care, his humanity, aligns it with me. So what they're saying is that they're idiots too. Okay, they don't need me to defend them. But it's going to come on the dinner, Vince. Because if I'm going to defend me and what we represent, you're going to get defended too. And then we will all walk with our head high as they are looking for work.
We'll be back.
Caesar's Palace has one of the best resort and convention facilities in the world. And we're glad that it's the home of the Jerry Lewis Telethon. And if you're going to have a convention, if you want to just come out with 6,000 or 7,000 people, they've got rooms for them, they have food for them, they have pools for them, they have Greeks for them. To have to stand here and qualify our conduct and our actions based on doing what we do. So I thought, and I wrote on the page, I've been seriously thinking about doing some work against humanity just to see what some of the press would say of that. They probably wouldn't say anything different. But I want to repeat a couple of things they did say. And now that you have been so close to the love and the warmth and the sensitivity of what's been presented in this program, I will only repeat for those that were not here and let you hear a couple of things you didn't hear in the first place. Jerry's Kids is one of the main themes of the telethon. Lewis assumes symbolic paternity over everyone from the poster girl to middle-aged Bob Sampson. Jerry Lewis didn't choose to call these children his kids. A long time ago, a mother came to me and said, I have one of your kids. And this is one of Jerry's kids. And I'm looking at wheelchairs. And they liked the reference. The child in a wheelchair can identify with either a hero. Indeed, it is hard to put up with him from his maudlin appeals for cash, as though I'm going to get a piece of the action. Lewis has to resort to melodramatic means to keep people watching. Maybe I'll resort to any means. I did not call this company together and build this structure and demand that we have a full network so that I don't get your attention. Well, interpretation changes it, doesn't it? So that when the Russian says, tell the Yugoslav, we love him, huh? And he interprets, they love you. Oh, that's terrific. And he walks right into the trap and his legs come off. But here's the doozy, folks. It's now catching on. It's sophisticated to attack this platform. On Saturday Night Live, a short time ago, what has 1 million legs but can't walk? Jerry's Kids. Okay? Now, when this happens and my gut turns, my gut doesn't turn for me. They did not attack me. They're attacking children that can't even stand up and say, I beg your pardon. Someone has to defend them.
Live from New York, it's Saturday Night!
It's Saturday Night Live!
Did I not go to the cocktail party where this newspaper man was? And if I did, I told him what I thought of him, which I usually do. You're a whore or a prostitute. You don't print the truth. Well, he's going to wait for Labor Day to get a shot at me, isn't he? He did. We closed the press with the following. With all the money that goes in, 60% of it goes to muscular dystrophy and 40% goes to Jerry. How does a mother say thank you, Jerry? A thank you from the mother of a dystrophic child seems so inadequate and cold, and yet important as the financial assistance we've received from MDA, it will never be taken lightly. We pray God takes good care of you and your organization. Let the press do something with that. 30. He signed that bill. He helped me get the Jerry Lewis Neuromuscular Research Center at UCLA, which is working overtime for the last 8 years. He's been a friend every single time I've come to him. You have wet eyes there, Big Ed. The whole night is worth getting wet eyes from you. I can only tell you that I'm the proudest, tallest man you ever saw in your whole life, with the best bunch of people any man has ever worked with in his life. It's nice to have you with us. Just turn it and see if it's, oh God. They are delighting nightclub audiences again.
You know what I used to do at the Americana in 1966? I used to run up in the audience. They just happened to have a bucket that's available. Isn't that something? Well, I wouldn't impose on anybody unless I saw someone going to the hip. I would never impose on anybody. I just got some Rado. That's good. I just got something from the letter carriers. You know, we get 21 different audiences in here during the course of this program. And it's really marvelous how far this goes. It's an amazing, wonderful outpouring of love. I love when the guy steps on a lady and says, "Let me get my dollar in there, you drunken old broad, you. Here, why don't you just sign it, give it to me blank, and trust me. Would you trust me?" Sure, you would trust me. I think if I play my cards right, I could make that broad. Okay. Do I want what? A $10 bill or a $25 chip? Put the $25 chip in there. Now give me the 10. That's it. But it's okay. I don't take it personally. You bastard.
Was so nice that they named the theater the Jerry Lewis Theater, and I think a nice way to celebrate that would be to show you a number. You always like to get $1 more than you got the year before. Do you remember what it was last year? It was $41,132,113.
Yes.
$1 more would please you?
Yes. Even more excitement takes place next month when more than 20,000 Brunswick Junior Bowlers team up with you to raise more money for MDA.
Here, now take the card and get out, drunken broad.
You look like you are really thrilled to be here.
I am.
And especially to meet Super Jew, right?
Yeah.
What's your first name?
Holly.
Huh?
Holly.
Holly.
Yeah.
That was my father's name. Isn't that amazing? Go ahead, sweetheart.
Well, in Air, Massachusetts, we've had fun organizing car washes, bake sales, and adopt a pet days that have raised $500 this year for the fight against MD. William?
In Memphis, Tennessee, our coupon books were hot items. This year, we expect to raise over $70,000 to help your kids. Anne Marie?
In Philadelphia.
Just hold it. That's it. You got all you need? I think so. Would you wait in the car? Okay, thank you. That's Tim Milman. He's been with us about a week, and we're going to miss him.
Ready? Let me know when you're ready. I'll kick it off because Louie's probably sleeping. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, get it up. That's it. I don't care how much. Just put it in there. I love this. You're giving a Jewish movie star a chance to put money in a bucket. You can stand up. Come on, you cheap woman, you. Come on, get it up. Come on. You, mister. No. Go to the pocket. Go to the pocket. Come on. Whip it out. Come on, watch this. Look at the butterflies coming out of there. Come on. Oh, wow, we got 20 from Bob. We got Penny, 20 from Joey, and 20 here. Count it up, Chris. Let me know how we did. How about a hand for all those lovely people up there?
And here, of course, is the telethon's anthem.
Clagis, if you give me a light, I can do this. Thank you.
When you walk through a storm, keep your chin up high. And don't be afraid of the dark.
At the end of the storm is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown.
Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Thank you very much. Good night. God bless you.
Except for 1 year.
We need it. We'll take it. So my kids can make it and live. They will live. By God, they'll live. Good night. Thank you.
He hobnobs with the best, and he knows and has worked with them all. But who does Mr. Lewis feel is the legend of comedy?
He is an infinite genius in comedy, and I am the biggest fan he has in our business. That it's one of the best in-one comic spots you'll ever hear. Needless to say, Charlie Callis, he's a national treasure as far as I'm concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, a super funny man, Charlie Callis. Come to
I remember it well.
Charlie Callis. Brilliant. Thank you, Charlie.
On a sad note, what many don't know is that Jerry was jailed early in his career. Here's the footage that led to his arrest.
Say, why don't you pick on somebody of your own disposition?
Oh, please, Mr. Barroom Brawler. Don't hurt me or anything like that.
And now Jerry, the drug pusher.
I had carried Dramamine across the counter to Dramamine to sleep on a rough train ride to Chicago. He was the most gullible man in the world, because if I wanted to suck him in, I would say, listen to what I heard this yesterday. Yeah, really? And I had him. He said, I better sleep tonight. You going to take Dramamine? I said, we don't sleep. We have a first show tomorrow morning, and we better get some rest. He said, yeah, let me have a couple of those Dramamines. Well, he was so cool that I could have taken out a moose's hat rack, and he would think that's a Dramamine. Okay. I mean, he's cool. He made Perry Como look like he had palsy, okay? So I go to the briefcase and I take out sugar tablets that I had carried only because I needed desperately to get diabetes. So I was taking them will you listen?
I'm sorry.
I give him the 2 sugar pills. It's of no consequence why I had them, okay? He takes them. And he's now in the upper in this berth on the... Hey, Pally, when is the Dramamine gonna do stuff, babe? I said, some people fast, some slow. Now, I'm stuck. I'm not gonna get any sleep. I've just locked myself into this bit, right? I gotta get some sleep. I gave him a Seconal, telling him that that was a little better than Dramamine, okay? He takes the Seconal, right? I said, hold it a second. He said, it's gone. I said, you better do this. I gave him a combination of Dramamine, Seconal, and an upper in the upper, and he is now up all night not knowing whether he should. We have a rehearsal at the Chicago Theater the next morning at 9 o'clock. We're going to do 5 or 6 shows that day, and during the rehearsal, he is deeply, deeply in rested position. He says, hey, pal, you got to have some. I'm so tired, I didn't sleep. And if I don't have you, babe, you're going to be out there by yourself. I said, I'll give you something that'll get you flying and you'll never know you didn't sleep. And I gave him a little Seconal, just to swallow fast. And he was starting to really get very, very tired. And I wound up the Patsy. Because I literally did the first show at the Chicago Theater alone. We could not get him up. And I had to tell the audience that he became suddenly drunk and I had to work alone.
Many forget that Jerry hosted his own television shows with excellent interviewing skills.
You have a fantastic capacity for showmanship and pizzazz. You do what you do. We need you to do what you do, and with the excellence with which you do it, and we'll do the silly stuff, and between the 3 of us, we might get a weekend. I know she's a girl because she dances backwards. You ever watch this? Yes. Let me ask you about Broadway for you,
I get
Dad.
scared up here with dialogue.
Why are you scared? What are you scared about?
Now I feel better.
Just go with the flow. Why are you scared?
Well, what does that mean? I know she's a girl because I saw her dance backwards. What? Does anybody have a clue what that means?
The reputation for an artist precedes them when they are locked closely with their crew. And I know you know that's important. Or at least that's the way I'm told you function.
But if I were you, I wouldn't worry about that. Those guys will forgive you. Some to work sooner down the line. They'll forgive and forget. You know, sooner or later, they have to make a buck, and they say, to hell with it. I'll work with them again.
What are your feelings when somebody says, Carol, I saw 4 Seasons, or I saw Fire, the marvelous film you did.
Friendly Fire.
Damn it. Why
Friendly Fire.
Yeah, Friendly Fire. I then get them to understand that what we're doing is a labor of love. We're literally going to make a baby. Let's have it walk healthy. Let it be warm and tender and sensitive, and it'll give people pleasure. And that's how I approach what I do.
And here's Jerry holding his own on some other talk shows.
A gun inside your mouth.
Well, that was because of drugs.
Do you want to get into that one, too? Can we get into that one, too?
Well, right after that injury, okay. I became a Percodan addict, and I wound up taking 13 Percodan a day, and I finally got Dr. DeBakey, who's my doctor, and has been taking care of me for years. He cleaned me out, and I have not had a Tylenol. That's a wrong word this day. I haven't had an aspirin. I'm dealing with it here.
You were an addict, a Percodan addict.
Oh, yeah. I was in bad shape. And I had to blow the whistle on myself in the people piece because I knew there were kids out there getting in deep trouble.
And you really did put a gun inside your mouth?
It was only a 4-inch barrel, and I got a pretty big mouth.
If I didn't hear my children running down the hall, I'd have fired them. And it wasn't unhappiness, that was just pain. I mean, that's the kind of ferocity that...
Jerry came to my dressing room with his mother the other night, and we were talking about his days with Percodon and how at one moment in time he was in his bathroom, he looked in the mirror, and he had a gun. And as he had it to his head, he heard his children in the hall. And that was that. Put it down. When he heard their voices out there.
A clown is someone who has something to say and something to do, and his heart doesn't have the courage, and he has to hide. Even though through the disguise, what he's doing is accepted, it indeed would not be accepted without the disguise. The clown is possibly the saddest, most devastated individual that we've ever known. When he takes the makeup off, he's been half nurtured, so he's half a man. He's half satisfied, he's half fulfilled. I can't even talk about it without it shattering me for him. I'm equally as shattered emotionally thinking about him as I am when I think about Jerry when he was 4 or 5. That lonely child finding that through humor he'd get through his life.
Buddy and I have 6 children, 3 plus Jerry is 7.
Talk about Jerry as another being, which he is. He's 9 years old. I'm almost 55 years old, and I am the keeper of the idiot. And he makes my living for me.
And correct me if I'm mistaken, that it would be nice if 21 years later, all of those people assembled in that room at that time could reassemble and sleep overnight.
And sleep overnight with the same peace, serenity, and security that they did the 21 years before, because they haven't been touched yet. They haven't been taught to hate. They haven't been taught to look over and see the color of that child, etc. It was just a philosophy of mine that I live by, think about a lot, and why would you refer to that, I wonder?
Well,
did you want to sleep together?
No, it struck me as... It struck me as something I'd never seen anyone say before.
You don't see someone say. You hear someone look. Do this for me once.
Do what?
Please, just do everything I do, like the old mirror joke. Would you do it once?
Do everything you do.
Right. Just try it once.
Gee, I hope I don't look like a jerk.
Do you play a musical instrument of any kind?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Do you? You play the drums,
Play
don't you?
drums,
Yeah.
play at it, yeah.
And you play everything, right?
Not well.
Well, but you think you do. That's what counts.
I tore my gaze. I tore my gaze. Who wrote this part? Tore my gaze. F minus on a tearing of the gaze.
What are critics? Who are you talking about? We have critics here? You got critics in Europe. The critics in this country wrote marvelous stuff about King of Comedy. They thought I was terrific. But if I called them morons before the King of Comedy, what do I call them now? Same morons. The Legion of Honor there isn't anything after that for an individual man. They waited till almost Stan Laurel was dead to recognize it. I defend and protect the field of comedy. Do you know that the Academy of Arts and Sciences do not have a category for comedy?
All right, let me show just a little clip of this here.
I've seen it.
Well, you're the only one, but some scenes in there that indicated that you held meetings and that you gave orders, and if I can't have my way, I won't do the show. Do you do that sort of thing, or were you ever temperamental?
I get very difficult when somebody shouldn't be in the job they're holding because they're keeping it from a man who's qualified. Moreover, they're contagious. They'll run through your crew and they will dismember that crew.
They poison the whole barrel of apples.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm making a film that hopefully one day my great-great-grandchildren are going to see, and they're going to examine my work. The fabric and character of this man is going to be up for grabs with my great-great-great-grandchildren. I'm not going to have some moron on the set looking at his watch and yawning because it's just a job. No way. He's out of there. That's only happened twice in 41 films.
But I'm going to stand up against the critics, the press that are foul, the liars, the cheats, the people that take the First Amendment, which is a joke anymore, and they use that to rip the likes of Carol Burnett and solid human beings. Why? Because they dedicated their lives to give these people some pleasure, and because they're paid very well for it. What did they do wrong? Well, who else are you going to pick on? Murray that parks your car? That's not interesting.
Are you a tough person to work for or work with?
If you're incompetent, yes.
Okay. Do you pull rank on the set because you're the star or the director?
No, you don't have to. When you are in control, you don't have to tell anyone that.
Why give credence to anything by answering it? So for a long time, we haven't answered those people who write those things.
You have to answer. May I read you a quote I just happen to have in my pocket in case someone said we should answer? It'll take a second.
Okay,
You're not going to sell no damn X-Lax now, buddy.
Okay.
I wish I wrote this because it says it all, Tom.
Okay.
Herbert Bloch, some years ago, wrote, "Silence can be the biggest lie of all." We have a responsibility to speak up, and whenever the occasion calls for it, we have a responsibility to raise bloody hell. And that's what I'm doing, and I think everybody in my particular position of some degree of self-worth are going to do it more and more, and you will see the Inquirer go the way of the Hollywood Confidential and all the other pieces of crap.
Okay, you got it. Mr. Lewis, it's always a pleasure, sir. Thanks, Jerry. Thank you so much.
Before we wrap, here is the rare footage that we spoke of earlier in the show. Footage never before seen, made more than 20 years ago from the film The Day the Clown Cried. We hope you have enjoyed this presentation from the Entertainment Archives, and we also hope you will join us next time when we bring you our next special about the late, great, legendary Jack Cassidy. Thanks for watching.
Are there any requests?
Yeah, get off!
You don't know me, but I work with Sal.